How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna say what's up to all the people that came into the chat before the show started. Shout out to King Slayer. How you doing? Salute. Hope everything is going well with you and yours. It says good morning, Jack. Today we're gonna be discussing. I'm just kicking people. It was somebody else that commented too, but I'm just kicking you, fam. Today we're gonna be talking about the Tory Lanez situation. I want to be clear about something real quick before we even get really far into this. He was found guilty of this. I'm not here to have a discussion about how he might not be guilty. I'm not here to have a discussion about. Uh, I mean, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, just so we could be clear. But we're not gonna pretend like he wasn't found guilty in a court of law. That's what I'm trying to say. We're not going to pretend like that's not a thing. He was found guilty in the court of law. Even if you don't think he's guilty, even if I don't think he's guilty, even if it don't matter. Don't matter who don't think he's guilty. He was found guilty in the court of law. So we're not going to have this conversation about the if, ands, and buts about how we should feel about what she said or didn't say, being as if he wasn't actually guilty. He was found guilty. Now, we can talk about the actual case and what we feel about the case, but that doesn't change the fact that he was found guilty. The reason why I'm saying this is because when we have somebody that you might favor and they beat the case, you don't want to constantly hear about how they should be in jail, right? So we're not going to do the reverse of that. We're not going to be hypocrites. With that being said, um, we're gonna do our monologue. Put your comments in the chat. We're gonna do roll call at the 5 minute mark. We're gonna give people an opportunity to get into the chat. Hit the like button. Random other thing I wanted to discuss with y'all real quick. I thought was kind of humorous. Do y'all notice this? There are a lot of actors, and not actors, pardon me, but there have been quite a few celebrities that have recently came out and said things that aren't necessarily anti LGBTQ community, but anti some of the things that's going on. It's a little sprinkle going on out here, but this ain't no real rain. Has anybody else noticed that? Like, did y'all see what happened with Neo the other day? So Neo comes out and he says that he don't think that children I don't either. He don't think that children should be able to change their genders. He don't think that parents should be supporting such a thing. He comes out and he says that, and then now he's also coming out and he's saying that he don't care who don't agree with him. He doesn't care about the backlash that he's going to receive from this. And I think that that's the type of energy we need to have more often. People, you can't really care about the backlash that you receive if you out here trying to do God's work. If you're out here trying to do God's will, you out here trying to do God's work. Why are you concerned about the people who don't want God's work done and how the backlash that you're going to receive from them? And this has nothing to do with whether somebody. I mean, we can go all the way in the crib, but I'm just gonna move up here real quick so I don't lose my spot. So this isn't a situation where I'm trying to say, just so we could be clear, this isn't a situation where I'm trying to say anything about gays or anything like that. This is a situation where I'm trying to say, we say that children can't drink. We say that they can't smoke. We say that we don't believe in them doing this. We don't believe in them doing that. But you're going to let them decide to change something so basic inside of who they are as far as something like their gender. Like, that's like the whole entire makeup. Like, so that doesn't make sense to me. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get, I might fix our light. Give me 1 second. I'm just switching tripods. I want to fix our lighting a little bit, if you don't mind, since we're gonna be outside. Sometimes when I come outside, I don't be wanting to come out here, y'all. because I don't think that y'all can see me. I think the lighting isn't that great, especially with the my camera currently being having the issues that's currently having. So I don't be thinking the lighting be that great. So I don't really be wanting to come out sometimes. So let's see if I can fix that situation. There we go. Let's see if this will be a little bit better. Okay, so. Alright, so hopefully that's a little bit better. I don't know if y'all can see me better. Let me switch out. There we go. Alright. I don't know if that's any better. I can't tell. You know my camera's fucked up right now. Anyway, let's get to it. So let's do roll call and get right to the show. Shout out to the tallest. He says, morning, sir. Morning, salute. How you doing? I hope everything is going well with you and yours. Shout out to Arthur D. Glass. He says, good morning, BBN Jack. And he drops the Cash App down. He says, BBN, he says, drops the Cash App. He says, support the Most High. High's name. Always support the Most High's name. That's a fact. I mean, you could also support the project, the program also, but definitely we always supporting the Most High's name. It is what it is. Shout out to Bo Reels. Very happy to see you back up in here again. With that being said, I want to be clear about something. I'm just reading the thing. Always support the Most High, whether you do a drop or not. That's not indicative of whether you support the Most High or not. Support the Most High even if you don't support Jack. With that being said, I want to be clear about something. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. When we have a situation that homeboy is in, that's Tory Lanez. First of all, this is entirely created by himself. Nobody else created this situation. Nobody made this situation. Tory Lanez made this situation. Tory Lanez created this situation. Now, with that being, remember, he was the one being sneaky. I want to say something real quick. Could we just start also admitting that the person that was the one being sneaky, having sex with the two people, might be the problem? When it happened with Jada Pinkett, we agreed. Jada Pinkett, she the problem. So, could we just start admitting that person is the problem? These situationships or whatever the hell y'all want to call them, these things should not exist. This is outside the laws. It should not exist. With that being said, he's currently going to be sentenced today. I want to talk about the sentencing. I want to talk about what do you guys think is going to happen. He's facing up to 22 years. The prosecutor is going to ask for 13. That's what I keep hearing. And somebody came into the chat, said that yesterday. Also, I actually saw one of the news reporters also exclaim, hold on, give me 1 second. I want this light to keep popping in. Sorry about that. Also, I've been hearing one of the what up, AP? Says salute. Also, just so we could be clear, the reporters are even say, let's just break this all the way down and start back at the beginning. That's what I want to do. I'm going to start back at the beginning. This is the first thing that I want to say. When we're talking about the sentencing, what you have to realize is you've been found guilty of a crime. The judge is going to look at you and he's going to want to see remorse. The judge is going to look at you and the judge is going to want to feel like you believe that this crime that you've been found guilty of is something that you would not normally do. This isn't a normal application of your human deeds. Like this isn't normally how you carry yourself. This isn't something that this isn't behavior that would continue if you were a free individual. So basically, if you show no remorse, there's the belief that you don't think what you did is wrong, and if you don't think what you did is wrong, there's a good chance that you will do it over. You know, this is something that you will do again. So what happens is, when the judge needs to know that you are remorseful, that's one of the most important aspects of this. That's why often when a person is found guilty of a crime, that they also want to go and they want to appeal or whatever, so they don't want to be there and say, you know, I'm sorry for what I did. You know, they don't want to do that, because at some point or another, they're going to want to try to appeal this. And when they go appeal this, they can't go to appeal court and then the court read the transcript from the last thing where you said that you feel sorry for the crime that you did. What kind of shit is that? So there's a tight walk that you kind of have to walk, a tight rope that you kind of have to walk, especially understanding. Oh, we're about to talk about the letter in 2 seconds. Especially if you're understanding that you need to not look like you're attacking the victim. Especially if the thing that the victim suffered through was an actual crime, whether you did it or not. You can't look like you're attacking the victim. That's 100% what Tory Lanez did. Now, could the defending himself on the internet, I want to say this one more time. The defending himself on the internet wasn't where he messed up. It was the tone. It was entirely the tone. 100% the tone. It was the mocking attitude. It was the laughing at a situation where she did 100% actually get injured, whether you did it or not. You can't then go laugh at said internet. At said, I was reading his comment, he did too much on the internet. You can't go then laugh at such a situation. You understand what I'm saying? You can't then laugh at it. That's what he did before the trial. He was speaking to her very mockingly. Once again, well, if he wasn't gonna be able to get on the internet and be productive, I agree. I agree. This is the number one thing I always say, right? So obviously not the number one thing, something I say. So what did I wrote? What did I write? I miswrote it. Thank you, Wise King. I appreciate you. So I was probably doing like 2 or 3 things, and I was thinking it in my head and writing it while I was doing something else, and I just an honest mistake. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm accepting blame, but also explaining why the mistake probably happened. I'm not making an excuse saying don't look at it like this is something that I shouldn't have done better. All right, so what you have to realize, okay, so you have to be careful not to be condescending. So what happens is, often when somebody don't respect an individual, or they want to come across like they don't respect a position, they speak in a very condescending manner. You know, like they're above them, like they're trying to speak over their heads, right? So as intelligent as Tory Lanez is, I'm going to assume that the judge is a little bit smarter. So when Tory Lanez is making those comments that he was making, that was condescending, he was making those comments where he was speaking down on Meg Thee Stallion, where he was calling her all types of this and all types of that, and then at the same time where he was trying to put blame on a whole nother individual, and then you watch both of these individuals get on the stand and basically testify against him, and you're the judge, and then he gets found guilty. How do you then go look at him and say, I'm going to give you leniency? Pardon me. How do you say you're going to give him leniency after that? I'm going to say this one more time. You're accused of a crime. The crime that you're accused of, you're going back and forth on the internet of the individual you're accused of injuring. You're speaking to them very mockingly, very condescendingly. You're not taking, they have a real injury. This isn't a fake injury. This is a real injury. This is a thing that actually happened that caused injury to them. And you're speaking about it very mockingly, very condescendingly, like you have no compassion for the individual, while at the same time kind of pointing fingers at another person and placing blame on a different individual. Now what ends up happening is during the trial, both of these individuals then take the stand basically against you. You're found guilty. How do you think that's going to look to the judge? He is lucky that the state is only asking for 13 years. He's lucky, because what that looks like is that you shot a woman in the foot, and then after you shot her in the foot, her friend was there. They got it, or there was some kind of fracas that broke out. You shot her in the foot, and then you tried to send her friend, her best friend apparently at that time, to jail for it. And they just happen to be the only witnesses. You can't script this shit, fam. You can't script this shit, fam. They just asking for 13. Let's talk about that letter. If anybody got any lines from the letter that stood out to you that you would like to put into the chat, put it into the chat. But I don't remember the letter verbatim. So this is what I'm going to say, just so we could be clear. One thing I know for sure is she asked for the maximum. She asked that he get no mercy. He asked for the maximum. He asked that she get no mercy. That he get no mercy. And I just want to say something outside of the court thing. She can never be considered as a queen to me. Like, you can't be considered as royalty to me. That's not how royalty carries themselves. What up, Fire Chief? I mean, I 100% get it. You mad at the situation. You was telling people about a thing for years. There's a whole bunch of people that didn't believe you. You was attacked all over the internet. I 100% get it. Fire Chief said, do she know karma? I guess not. So that's not how royalty is supposed to act. Royalty don't act like that. And I think that that's also another bigger issue that we just have in our community, just in general. Everybody want bad things to happen to other people. And right now, she got a good reason. She's saying he shot her in the foot. But people be wanting bad things to happen to you for no reason. Like, they don't even be no real reason. They just be hating you. Like, that whole energy got to get up out the hood, fam. And right now, that's what she vibrating. And she got to be above that. You won. He got found guilty. He's going to jail. The judge, the prosecution want to give him 13 years. If he do 2 years, his career damn near over. They trying to give him 13. You seen what happened when Bobby Shmurda did 7? Where Bobby Shmurda music career at right now? But if Bobby Shmurda would have been able to stay out making music, he might have changed the whole sound of music. The whole drill music New York sound would have probably been different. Yeah, the max is 22 years. She want him to get 22 years, man. I mean, I can't tell you how to feel. I ain't never been shot in the foot. I wouldn't encourage it. I also wouldn't encourage it. Dude, yeah, anything past 3 years. I'm saying anything past 2-3 years, you're done. Because we're oscillating too quickly through artists at this point. Artists aren't staying around for... Dude, little TJ is already out the door damn near. When was the last time you heard about a rapper get shot and don't make it? Tell me. When was the last time you heard about a rapper get shot and don't make it, fam? Little TJ already out the door. He got shot. He on the internet the other day acting a fool. He in some hotel somewhere blasting music dumb early in the morning, and then they ask him to leave, and he's saying that the hotel is the one that has the issue. What's wrong with them? Why they trying to hate on him for? So yeah, idiots everywhere. The fire chief, they're gonna have to make a Tory, uh, Meg Thee Stallion miniseries or movie at one time. I don't want them to make a movie. I want them to make a little series, 3-part series. You give each part depending how real deep we want to go, and you do the 3 parts like this. You have one part primarily about the struggles of Meg Thee Stallion. We know many of the things that she went through first. You have the second with you know what I'm saying, flash forwards uh to the event of the night, you know, sprinkled in there so we don't lose track of what it's about. And then you the second show you have there, it's basically primarily about Tory Lanez, right? You mentioned in both everybody and everything, but it's primarily about Tory Lanez, and you don't have uh cuts of the night in there. I mean, cuts of the court case. Wait, with Megan Thee Stallion, you have cuts of the night of the alleged shooting incident. During Tory Lanez, you have cuts of the courtroom, and then in the last one is when they actually talk about the actual night, and they actually have the actual scenes for you to understand the courtroom and the aftermath. So you have each show, right? The last show, I say you make it a little bit longer, maybe the first 2 shows is 44 minutes. You could probably push it from 44 minutes and get it to 62, maybe 72, pardon me. Maybe 72 minutes apiece. Because you don't want it to go to an hour and a half. So maybe about 72 minutes apiece, the first 2 episodes. And just like you always write, you know, 3 parts each episode. And then the last episode, you probably make that 120 minutes. Probably about 120 minutes, the last episode. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I mean, there's different ways you could break it up, but basically each individual episode, you want one about Tory, one about Meg, and then the culmination of the two of what actually happened together. And you could probably have even better. You could use a narrative choice also. Maybe you have a person who is a author, or you can use YouTube content creator to be the narrator of it, because you probably want to use some kind of narrative device. Because anyway, that's in the hand of it. Anyway, so I'm gonna read some comments now. Drop some comments. Tell me what y'all think about this. So yeah, so she wants him to be hit all the way in the head. She wants him up out of here, fam. That's bananas. Like she want him 22 years, man. I hope the prosecutor asks for the 13. They already asked for the 13. She also she didn't go to court yesterday. So if he would have been sentenced yesterday, she didn't go to court. If she goes to court today, that might be worse off for him. She might come to court, not only just put in a letter, but she might want to make a statement also that's going to be terrible for him. So she might come into court, fam, and put that foot on that gas. We got 73 people in the room. Hit that like button. Let's send out some notifications. If you are enjoying the show this morning, you could always pull up to the Cash App, the Super Chat, and or the PayPal. Or you could go cop some gear. I'm not currently wearing gear right now, but you could look at our pinned gear that we currently have. I believe it's some shorts, our BBN trucker shorts. You could go cop those. Tory got 72 letters. Do you think some of those was from his celebrity friends? Absolutely. Who else is writing letters? It's probably from his celebrity friends. His father's, I think, some kind of clergy. So it's probably from celebrity friends. It's probably from clergy. Yeah. I mean, I would assume fans also, but why would the judge read fans and shit? Because fans there'll be like a million letters and shit. And the judge is like, he won't even be able to sentence him into next year sometime. He's like, I'm reading like 30 letters a day. I'm reading 30 letters an hour. I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible. But her showing up to court, it might be, if she decides to do that, it could be devastating. But at the end of the day, he broke his covenant, and the Most High gave him what he wanted, and then he did what he did. So we gotta try hard not to break whatever our covenant is. Also, let's say for a moment, just for argument's sake, that he 100% shot her in the foot. 100%. He did the whole thing. Her story is 100% accurate. She's not saying anything incorrect. I don't believe none of their stories, by the way. But she's not saying anything incorrect. I think all of them are leaving shit out in order to not to make themselves look as bad, just so we can be clear. Let's say she's 100% right about her story, though. That is what happened. You know what kind of douchebag that makes dude, fam? That makes dude a pretty big douchebag, fam. That makes Tory Lanez a pretty bad person. For real, for real. Like, if what she's saying is actually true, that makes him a pretty bad person. I just don't think that he's that person. Like, sometimes you gotta think about that when somebody accused somebody of some shit. You gotta stop disbelieving niggas. Sometimes think, like, do you really think that person could be that bad of a person? Yeah, Iggy Azalea, she's getting backlash for it. I'm not surprised. Iggy Azalea need people to write her songs. She better send him fucking letters. Iggy Azalea needs somebody to write her songs, fam. She better be. He's gonna have a lot of time in a minute. I'm not trying to be a dick, but he gonna have a lot of time in a minute. If I was a freaking singer, especially if I was a female singer, I will 100% be sending letters to the judge to try to get the judge, be lenient on him. 100%. He's gonna be locked up. He's gonna need to make music. He's gonna need to write songs. He's gonna need to sell songs. Nah, I'm trying to get on that list. What you talking about? Trying to get on that list, man. What you talking about? Chico Black Music and Gaming says they saying he was drugged. Well, they should have said that initially. This is the new thing that they're saying. The new thing that they're saying is that he was drugged. That sounds like something they should have said in the beginning. That changes the whole entire narrative. That changes the narrative to I was drugged. I don't think they can say that now. I don't think they can say that at this point. Because if you're saying you're drugged now, then you're telling us the whole entire time you've been lying. So you've been lying this whole time? So this whole entire time, all of these people was coming to your defense, Tory Lanez, and you was lying? Because now if your argument is that you was drugged, then that means you're saying you did in fact do it. Right? Because even if you didn't do it and you were drugged, there's no reason to say that you were drugged. You get it? I didn't do it. There's no reason for me to talk about whether I had drugs in me or not. I didn't do it. It don't matter what I was doing. I didn't do that. So if he is now coming out saying that he was drugged, I mean, fam, don't know what to tell you. Now I'm even mad at his legal team. I think his legal team failed him, fam. Even if he 100% did it, the legal team failed him. Just so we could be clear. They did a terrible job. Their job was horrendous. Their job looked like when you eat too much stew and then you took a dump. Their job was terrible, fam. I hope you can understand how bad I think their job was. They did a terrible job, man. And there was no excuse for that, in my opinion. There's no excuse for it. What up, King Will? Just like I don't know, Chico is the one saying that somebody said his stuff was laced. I don't know if anything was laced. That's somebody in the chat that said that. If they erase their comment later, I don't got nothing to do with it. Anybody seeing Chico say that? Because people be doing all types of weird shit to make it look like I'm being crazy. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll come right back. Give me 1 second. Don't go nowhere. Yeah, people are always doing weird shit to try to make it look like I'm crazy. Like it's bananas, fam. I'd be like, what the heck? And that's why I'm always looking around like, how the hell is anybody going for this? I don't know. It stopped raining. I could probably get from under this awning. I'm gonna get from under this awning, so I'm gonna go get my other tripod again. It stopped raining, so I'm gonna get from under this awning. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry about all this. Give me 1 second. Go, I guess, get a donut or something. Also, I don't be thinking I'll be coming outside and getting enough sunlight. So I think that since I've been coming out, I mean, there's no sun out today. It is what it is. But I don't think I'll be coming outside getting enough sunlight. So that's another reason why I've been a little bit more happy about doing the lives, because I don't really come outside. I be trying to avoid all the people that want to have unreasonable conversations with me so they can then pretend like I'm doing something. I really think that's a big thing that people are into. Like, pretending like you did something to them when you ain't did nothing to them. Like, that's like a big thing for people for some strange reason. Bo Real says, I'm sure childhood trauma play a part, but how much the judge is going to take account for that. You see, you're telling me he has childhood trauma, but you're also telling me that his father is some kind of minister, right? You tell me that he's an alcoholic, but if somebody is drinking and driving, we don't say that you don't have to go to jail. These don't sound like reasons why you should give somebody leniency, with all due respect. These don't sound like reasons why he should get leniency. These sounds more like literal excuses. Now, if they come out off the rip and say that he was drugged, that sounds like a reason. Why do you believe he was drugged? We gave a piss test and there was some stuff in his system. Now, let's say they have no proof that anything was in his system. Now, it's just him saying he was drugged. There's no reason to even believe that. They're just, the first lawyers really just messed up, fam. So now they don't know what to do. They thought they were going to be able to get a next trial. They weren't able to get a next trial. They don't know what to do. Contradictions, if you ask me. Yes, Arthur D. Glass. Actual contradictions. Not when people say somebody is contradicting themselves because they using witchcraft and switching words up. Actual uh, contradictions. Yes, he had a different lawyer before. That lawyer was terrible. That's the lawyer why he's in the situation he's in now. That lawyer was terrible. Dude. Chico says, yeah, but if you think you was drunk, you would think it was the alcohol. That's why he's saying it was an accident. But then when the case hit, it was like, if you're going to fight this case. Oh, you saying that he changed the story more than once. I'm saying this. He's definitely a person that it would have behooved him to be a friend of mine and have actually had a conversation with me before all of this shit broke too big. For him to actually have spoken to me and me and him had an actual conversation before the shit broke too big. Because the number one thing I would have told him was, if you really didn't do this, you can't try to protect the other girl, period. That's the number one thing I would have told him. You the black man in this situation. If you didn't do it, they are going to try to pin you. Women just have a code, fam, that the man is always wrong. Tell me where the lie's at. Tell me where the lie's at. There's a code women have. The man is just always wrong. So you're trying to tell me that you got a situation with two women? That's the witnesses? That's the three people that's there? Your security didn't even take the witness stand? Why didn't your security take the witness stand? The prosecution didn't call the security, I guess, and you didn't call your security. So why didn't nobody call the security? Is it because they're security and if he takes a stand, that's the end of his job? That should be the opposite. He worked for Tory Lanez, right? If he takes the stand in defense of Tory Lanez, why would that be the end of his job? What up, Star Cloud? He would be better off saying he was drunk and didn't remember. He would have been better off initially. Not saying he was drunk, but saying that they were all drunk. And I don't think any of us know what it actually happened that night. He would have been better off saying that. I think I know what happened, but my story and the other person's story is vastly different. We were just absolutely plastered. We got kicked out of the event. We were so drunk. He would have been better off saying that in contrast with what he said. Because when I say I was drunk, I'm putting the responsibility and onus on me. When I say we're all drunk, I'm putting the responsibility and the onus on what happened on all of us. No, I'm telling my dude, I'm telling you what I would have told him. That's what I would have told him. Of course, hindsight is 20/20, but that don't mean I wouldn't have told him it if he would have spoke to me. Oh, so okay. So the tallest is here just to get kicked. Okay. Copy. Not a problem. You ain't did nothing to get kicked yet, but obviously that's the only reason why you're here. Not a problem. Don't worry. We'll get to it. I'm assuming that his next comment is going to be some kind of insult, by the way. So bring it. Bring the insult. Let's get it over with. No, the prison call didn't help when he was apologizing. I want to say something real quick, right? So this is the problem with people when they think they have the gift of gab. This is the problem with people when they think they have the gift of gab. Right? So sometimes you don't got the gift of gab, fam. Sometimes people just favor you. You get it? So they're doing the things that you want them to do because they want the things you're saying to be true, or they want the things you're saying to be right. So they favor you. So when they stop favoring you, that means that they're not going to be accepting what you're saying the same way, because you never actually had the gift of gab. You never actually had game. You were just favored. Understand that there's a difference. So I'm pretty sure that when he made those phone calls and he was saying what he was saying, he thought that he was talking to them with the same energy that would convince them to do many other things. Remember that there's women that get beat by their man and go right back. Them niggas got the gift of gab. So I believe when he was on the phone, that's probably the energy that he was trying to project. He really thought that he would be able to encourage these people to do something that would make it so that his life was easier. He wasn't thinking about what they were going through. This woman's foot got all tore up. Even if you shot her, whatever the fuck happened, her foot got tore up. Funny thing is, she was fucked up. She might not remember it. Let's stop acting like when people get drunk to the capacity that they were probably drunk, that y'all memories is 100%, fam. Stop acting like y'all haven't had nights where y'all don't even know how you got home. Like, that happens. You understand? So we can't really go off of any of what their stories are, is my point. We needed a third party, a fourth party. The only person that was in that vehicle that should have been sober was the security, and he didn't take the witness stand. Meg is known for being drunk. That's why I keep trying to say, I don't mind dating somebody that drink, but if you got to drink every single day, like, and I'm not even gonna say every single day. I grew up in the era that you had to drink a day. I grew up in the era of watching the Jeffersons, and you came home from a hard day of work, you might have a little drink. I grew up in the day of when my pops came home from a hard day of work, he might have a little drink, and it wasn't even excessive. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I literally grew up, like, my pops lived with me until I was about 8, and then not no more until I was about way older. But up until I was about 8 years old, 7, 8 years old, my pops would come home and he would have a drink. Not a big drink, not a he's drinking the whole entire night. He'd come home and just have a drink, probably have a beer. I mean, I don't know if he was drinking more. I wasn't up in the nigga face, but it wasn't nothing that looked like it was, like, especially me now knowing what excessive drinking is. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a drink, like, you know what I'm saying? But people not doing it reasonable. People is buying whole bottles of Hennessy every day to down. You know what I'm saying? They ran a play on Tory just to get him out of the way. But I've been told y'all they was running a play on Tory. Even before that situation happened, when I told y'all that Tory was the biggest thing on Instagram, and then those girls showed up on his program, and now all of a sudden he don't do Instagram no more. And then right as soon as that shit started happening is when this happened. Remember? Remember? The Jenner girl and Meg Thee Stallion showed up on his program, on that Instagram show that he had. He was rocking out on that for quite some time. Then all of a sudden he stopped. Well, the neighbors witness, I don't know if they could have been paid off or what. I'm not going to say all that. But what I can say is sometimes people misremember, fam. Sometimes people remember things depending on how they feel about you. Worst part is she came back after she initially was kicked out and came and got him. Wait, what? Oh. Yeah, nah. I'm not even here for that. Like, that energy, I'm not here for that. So homegirl, just so we could be clear, Tory Lanez had the biggest show on Instagram at that point. Let's not even act like it wasn't. He was doing incredible numbers. His Instagram was getting shut down like crazy. They did not want him doing that. I'm gonna say this again. There was powers that be, in my belief, that didn't want him doing that Instagram program the way he was doing that program, because he wasn't tied in with the right people. And that's just what I believe. I could be wrong. Because remember, he did the thing with he got out of that record deal, right? Which I'm assuming was with the help of Roc Nation, and then he didn't sign with Roc Nation, fam. That was some that's that that was bad business. That was dirty. I don't know what to tell you. As far as I don't care how much you don't like Roc Nation, he did Roc Nation wrong in that moment. I didn't even know he got a big deal off of it. I know they was talking about it. So those girls show up on his program and then all of a sudden now he don't do the show no more. Those girls show up on his program, now all of a sudden he don't do the show no more. Somebody explain that shit to me. You're alright, chilling. He has a beautiful garden on his balcony. He has beautiful like flowers on his balcony. Him and his wife. Shout out to them. They help make the house look pretty. Fire. Morning. They wanted to be in business with him. Yes. Roc Nation wanted to be in business with Tory Lanez, and he dubbed him. That's a fact. You can't do that, fam. I believe they helped him get out of that other contract, and they helped him get out of that other contract with the understanding that he was going to do some kind of business with them. And then they dubbed him. So whose father was right? So whose father was right? Explain that. Handshakes and verbal contracts are useless. Okay, whatever. He's in jail right now. Bo Reels is crazy. They just gonna make his pop sound crazy. Wait, what did his pop say? Tell me what his pop said. That they wanted to do business with him? Yeah, yeah, he's mad at Roc Nation, but Roc Nation, I just want to be clear about something. If Roc Nation helped Tory Lanez, do you know how hard it is for these rappers to get out of freaking record deals? So Roc Nation helped Tory Lanez get out of a record deal. You know how much behind the scenes shit they had to have been doing? Do you know how many strings they probably pulled if this is what happened? Do you understand how many strings they probably pulled? Do you understand how many fucking coins, tokens they probably called in? Do you understand how hard it is for a rapper to get out of a damn record deal? Not just a rapper, but anyone to get out of a record deal. Do you know how hard that is? That's if they helped them get out of the record deal. I believe that they did. I believe that they did. I believe that they did. I believe they helped them get out of the record deal. I mean, if you know anything about business, if you know anything about the music industry, you know that they had something to do with that. And that's why they was trying to get him with a new handler. His handler was supposed to be Homegirl. It wasn't working out right. So they moved Meg Thee Stallion over to be his handler. And that's when all of that shit happened and everything went sideways. Because Meg Thee Stallion, she's not built like that. I bake you a cake for something important with the verbal agreement that you have to pay me back. Boom. AP said he blamed Roc Nation. Shake my head. Nobody told him to shoot Megan. I agree with you. I have no pity for Tory. Just imagine if it was one of our daughters. Okay, stop. That you could just say that about any victim of anything. Just imagine if that was your father. Just imagine if that was your son. Just imagine if that was your daughter. Just you can say that about anyone. So I'm not trying to pull it away, but I'm saying we can say that about any victim of anything. Imagine if that was your dog. You want to get it? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying I don't want to have the conversation there because that's at such a base level. I'm saying let's take the conversation up a notch. Anyway, I believe that they helped them. Once again, the reason why I believe they helped them is like goes way past whatever beef or situation. First of all, just so we could be clear around the no, name me an artist that gets out of their contract. You got artists that offer millions of dollars to the record labels and the record labels say no. You got artists that offer catalogs to the record labels and the record labels say no. You have these artists offering everything to the record labels say no. Tory Lanez, one of the hottest artists at that time, comes out and say he wants off of the record label. They tell him no, and then after a day or two, something happened, and they order him, and they just reverse the decision and let him go. So you don't think nobody did nothing? You just think that they had a change of heart. You just think these businessmen in the music industry, which theoretical, which people accuse of having some of the most greedy corporations entities. You just think that they just said, you know what, let's just let him out of his contract, let's do the right thing. You don't think they was pressured? And then, just so we could be clear, as soon as he gets out of his contract, he immediately go have a meeting with Roc Nation. So somebody helped him out of his contract. You think, I don't know who his contract was with, but you think Columbia was like, you know what, we're going to help you out of the contract, and then he just going to go and have a meeting with Roc Nation? Also, who is the company that keeps helping everybody get out of their contracts that's been getting out of their contracts as of late? What's the name of the company? The music company that they say we're not an actual label, but we have lawyers over here, and their whole entire thing is to make sure that the artists get their money. Who's the label that's been, who's the music entity that's been doing that? Anybody know? I mean, I know, but I'm giving people an opportunity to put it into the chat, just so we can be clear. Anybody know? Who is the current music entity that is always helping rappers, either if they got to go to court, if they got to get out of a contract, if they have some kind of other legal issue, or even sometimes non-legal issues? What's the name of the music entity that has been helping these rappers? It's Roc Nation, isn't it? Shout out to Ganju, salute. Roc Nation. Roc Nation is the empire. Roc Nation is the one pulling up, helping everybody. So wouldn't it be logical to think it was Roc Nation? That would just be logical, right? That would just be logical, right? Like, even if you're wrong, that would just be logical, right? I laughed because he said Empire, and I was thinking about the TV show Empire. So that's why I laughed. That's why I laugh. I'm about to make me a coffee. That's why I laugh. That's why I be close to the crib too. Because if I go all the way around the corner, I can't just make me a coffee when I feel like it. But that's why I laugh. I was thinking about the TV show Empire. That's the first thing that shot to my brain. We gotta help you get out of that contract, man. Hold on, be right back. Hey. That's interesting. Shout out to Ganju. All the facts. Salute. Let me warm me up some water. I'm gonna make me some coffee real quick, and I'm gonna be right back. Don't go nowhere. Drop all your comments in the chat, and when I come back, I'm just gonna start reading off comments. Some funny stuff. No funny stuff about me, fam. If you can help it, I'll be right back. All right, got my water boiling. Give me 2 seconds. I may get back in there and then snatch it up and do whatever we got to do to it. What comments we got here? Yeah, commercial break. We're gonna go for another one in like 2 seconds. I just gotta go actually get the coffee. Shout out to Brian Kaplan. Shout out to Jack Boy. Toon says Tory probably was like thanks, but still wanted to be independent after they used their resources, and that's the point that I'm trying to say. Oh, Ganju said he get people out of contracts all the time. Yeah, but like you a super expert, fam, and you're not known for it as much as you should be. You really should be. For everybody that don't know, if you're trying to get out of your contract, contact Ganju Roach. He can make it happen. For real, if you don't know. I keep trying to tell y'all, we be having people in the chat. For real, fam. Ah, yeah, I need some theme music. Well, we have our channel and shit. All right, that water boiling by now. I'll be right back. Oh yeah. If you wasn't here yesterday, YouTube sent out the emails recently. I don't know. To YouTube sent out the emails recently to its content creators to keep encouraging us to tell y'all support the channel. If you want to support the channel, you could always pull up to our Cash App, Super Chat, and or PayPal, or you can pull up to our merch shop. We currently have some shorts pinned. Go check them out. You're gonna love them. And you can also join membership and join the green team. So they recently just sent me an email. It's literally, we did a video yesterday and I used part of the email as a thumbnail. The thumbnail to a video we did yesterday. So they literally tell you to do this, man. It always kills me when people say you're not supposed to do this or you're doing something wrong when you do this. I want to speak some drops to the Cash App into existence. Could we speak some of those into existence? I want to speak some Cash App drops to the existence. Anybody in here want to help me do that? Ganju says yes. I do the dirty work. I want to pull up and just make you a commercial, fam. Off topic. But Sue served sentencing is September 14th next month. If I could get there, I'll get there. Which shop idea? If I could get there, I'll get there. We're an hour into the show. Anything y'all want to talk about, put it into the chat. What up, Kilo? Kill him all? I don't know how to say that right now. All right, let's get back to it. All right, so where we left off at? Tell me where we left off at. Put it into the chat. Where y'all want to restart the conversation? Fixing my pants. Where y'all want to restart the conversation at? I'm gonna give you a second, and I'm just gonna jump in and just restart it wherever I want to restart it at. And appreciate everybody that's been dropping comments to help to drown out the person that was in here just talking nonsense. See, when I'm saying something that makes sense, but y'all guys not putting the shit that makes sense into the chat, that makes it, it makes it so much better for the channel when we have the people in here that want to be productive. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Nobody has anywhere where y'all want to start off at specifically, so I just start off any old where. I think as far as for her career, I don't think it was a good step for her to say that she want Tory Lanez to have the maximum everything put against her. I don't think that that's good for her career. Remember, she's a rapper, and in our culture, you have to always want everyone to come home. You're not supposed to want nobody to be in jail, no matter what crime they committed, apparently. So, damn, this shit too hot still. So, her saying no mercy, her saying that she want dude to get hit with all his bags, her saying all of this, her going all of that direction, that might not be a good look, because who's she gonna go tour with now? Because them same gangsters, they can't condone that. They not supposed to. I'm one of the few people that said that she can't be a snitch. So you know I'm not on that wave. She can't be a snitch. The crime was committed against her. She not no street nigga. She a regular fucking person. She a whole artist, man. Do you think her not coming to court was a guilt trip on her? I think her not coming to court and then also at the same time saying that she want him to get the maximum sentence is cowardice. I think that's coward shit. So you want to talk about how you want this man to get the maximum penalty, but you can't come to court? This isn't a situation like they found you in a basement and he had you for a whole bunch of months or years or something, and you seeing him might trigger something. You wrote a whole letter about how you want him to never go back home, basically. You want all of the worst things in the world for him, but you couldn't show up to court. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, she better keep everything clean. She better not get into another problem. The max is 22. She said she didn't want to be in the same room with him again. Now, we're not doing that. That's excuses. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. That's not a reason. In my belief. She stayed wearing makeup. Her face can never stay clean. Very funny. I'm not gonna down women for wearing makeup. I'm not gonna. But I do agree. When that shit look caked on, that is not as attractive as some women might think it is. At least not for me. Totally never off topic but on topic. Wait, way off topic but related but not related to what we just talking about the makeup. Anybody else notice that these BBL bodies are kind of not really popping as much as people thought they were? Anybody else notice this? Anybody else notice that? That right now the women that are actually kind of winning are the ones that's hitting the gym. I'm not big on makeup either, but I'm not gonna stand here and try to talk bad about somebody that I'm not big on makeup either. I'm not big on makeup either. Just so we can be honest with you. Hold on, I can see this comment. It's hard to pop when everyone else doing that shit. I'm gonna say this much also. Bo says Summer Walker pick was horrible, terrible. A lot of their picks look terrible, but people keep saying they don't. So I don't understand. A lot of them picks look terrible. There's very few females I see that have the jump offs that has the that it just a lot of them just I don't want a woman with a balloon butt, but some men want that. So I guess that works, right? And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, by the way. I'm not trying to say that they're unattractive and I'm not trying to talk negative about them. I'm just trying to say I think that their lifespan of that being the prototypical way that people want their woman to look has passed. That's what I'm saying. I like thick thighs, right? I mean, I like when I look at a woman's physique and I think about how much I like their butt, because I'm a butt guy. The thighs need to match the butt. If the thighs don't match the butt, I'm not attracted. I don't know no other way to put that. A pieces, I'm not gonna lie, right women killing it in the gym. Not everybody in the gym. Got a lot of black women in the gym, man. But I think more of them are becoming successful influencers. I'm gonna agree with you on that. They're much more of them are becoming successful influencers. Yeah, I've never been a big fan. I'm about to say the realest shit to you in 2 seconds. So the first time I saw Nicki Minaj, me and my brother was driving on Fordham Road going to a job. I was sitting in the middle seat, or he was sitting in the middle seat. I don't remember. We was in the cab of the truck. Three people sitting. One person here, one person here, one person here. I forget what seat I was sitting in. He starts telling me about Nicki Minaj. I do not know who this is. I just heard about her because this is around the time that situation was going on where Little Kim had gotten the track with her, and then that shit went sideways. He showed me a picture of Nicki Minaj because he was busy telling me about how fine she was. I looked at her and I saw the curves, so I know that she's supposed to be super attractive. But I thought she was way prettier. I looked at Nicki Minaj and found her attractive because of how pretty she was, not because of her augmentations. You understand? Nicki Minaj is one of the prettiest freaking rappers in the industry. Period. Probably ever been in the industry. Like she's legit pretty, fam. No makeup, no nothing. Stone faced it. I don't know if that's the term, but barefaced it. Like she's legit like beautiful, fam. Like she's legit beautiful. Legit. Yeah, she's legit. Like she's pretty. Like she's legit pretty. Kim K took a fake booty out. I didn't know. Stone face. Dude, Nicki Minaj is legit. She's the name me a prettier girl in the game right now, rapping, fam. I'm talking about just face wise. Ruby Rose on that level, but they smutted her out, so now her shit is fucked up. They smutted her out. They tricked her, and you know, when she was popping, they tricked her into going around and fucking all the dudes. I can't name it. I'm name one. Ruby Rose, closest one I could think of, as far as just pretty. Coyle Ray is pretty, but not in that league. Nowhere close. Um, I like Cardi B, obviously, especially since I like Puerto Rican women. Sheesh. But no, Cardi B has. If you take all of her makeup off, she got like injuries, or she's from the Bronx and shit. She got scars and shit. I don't necessarily agree with. But no, there's no chick prettier. I love Remy Ma. I think Remy Ma is actually pretty. But no. Okay, we're not doing that, fam. Come on, killer. We're not doing that. Alright, we're not doing that. Copy? We're not doing that. Sweetie is pretty too, but no, not Nicki Minaj pretty. I don't think Sweetie is freaking Ruby Rose pretty, fam. Just so we could be clear, if I had a chance to date Sweetie or a chance to date Ruby Rose, I would date Sweetie. Sweetie's a tomboy. That puts her up here for me. But I don't think visually wise she's prettier. Sweetie looks like she walks around with a stank face a lot. I used to date this chick, super pretty girl. Her name was Chonda. Light skin, she was black. Her family was from the island. She was light skinned, and she had like light hair. She was black, but she was light skinned, but she had like light hair, really light hair. Did she have light eyes too? She might have had. I don't remember what color her eyes was. Coincidentally enough, I dated a lot of chicks with blue eyes and shit like that, or gray eyes. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. She was pretty. I forgot why I started telling you this story. Anyway, tomboys elevate women to me, and Sweetie's a tomboy, so that means that I could just go to the park and shoot with her, or we can go to play baseball, or we could go do this, or we could just go do guy stuff, and I could have a best friend that we could just go do regular shit. Charlie Baltimore, get out of here. She's just get out of here. Heck no. I dated one chick that people told me they thought looked like Erykah Badu, fam. I dated some really pretty women in my life, fam. Ashanti is in her 40s, fam. She's not in this well, I guess, Ashanti's not in this conversation. She's in auntie conversations, fam. Ashanti's the baddest auntie out there, fam. I want her to put some clothes on, though. I'm tired of seeing her in fucking bathing suits. Bronx got some pretty women, that's a fact. I'm saying pretty women are everywhere, so please don't no women get mad at me. But yes, the Bronx has some pretty women. But Nicki Minaj, I can't name any. Yeah, Nicki is an auntie, but I'm looking at Nicki and I'm looking at I need Ashanti to stop being in bathing suits all the time, fam. Like I can't even Ashanti is too old for us to not be looking at her. Like I can't even look at her and take her seriously in a relationship, fam. Like if you tell me she was in a relationship with somebody, I couldn't even take that seriously, fam. Ashanti is arguably one of the prettiest females ever in the music industry, fam. I dated this chick that once looked like her too. Not for nothing. Kendra. When I first met Kendra looked like Ashanti, fam. This is facts. This is facts. Ask her. If next time Kendra come in here, ask her who I used to tell her she looked like. I wish I could show you photos, man. I just wouldn't do that. You know, well, if she said I could, I would, but I wouldn't do that anyway because I wouldn't want anybody harassing her. But when she come next time Kendra come in here, ask her who I used to always say she looked like. She'll tell you. Beyonce's not a rapper. And I don't think Beyonce is prettier than Nicki Minaj, fam. Beyonce's just light-skinned and she's really pretty, but they at the same level. At the best, at the worst, they at the same level. At the best, they at the same level. I don't think she's prettier than Nicki. Not prettier. As pretty, I agree. Not prettier. Negro said Beyonce. Yes, he did. Not prettier. What the hell? No, Ashanti and Beyonce are not rappers. I don't know why they just keep... The dude that's naming it, all the people that aren't rappers, he's just naming people, fam. Oh, no, Bigger the Don named that one. But the other dude, he just naming people, fam. Let him have his fun. He's not being annoying right now. I like when... I'm fine when they just doing stupid shit, but they not being annoying. Let him be annoying, fam. As long as he not being annoying to me. Let him have his fun. Leave him alone. Yes, the sun come out. Let me get some of this sunlight. Leave him alone as long as he not being annoying to me. Nicki is bad, fam. But Kendra looked like Ashanti, fam. Especially when I first met Kendra. When I first met Kendra, she looked just like Ashanti, fam. Different strokes for different folks. That's a fact. No, I'm just saying my opinion. Obviously, you think Beyonce looks better than Nicki Minaj, and there's nothing wrong with that. Betty White gonna be his next female. He names. he gonna be like, yo, what's up with oh man, I forgot her name. Marla Gibbs. He gonna be like, yo, Marla Gibbs. What up with Marla Gibbs? R.I.P. to Betty White. Marla Gibbs still alive, I think. He's gonna be like, yo, Marla Gibbs look better than Nicki Minaj. Nicki, he dropped the ball on Nicki because he wasn't ready for what she had, fam. She wanted a real relationship with a real nigga, and he still wanted to play them street nigga politics. He just wasn't ready, fam. He know it. He know it now. He just wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. She wanted somebody to be a husband, fam. And that's one of the reasons why I think after the Nicki thing, she just went and found the dude that just wasn't in the industry. And literally found somebody that can't be in the industry because he can't even get on the internet. So she married a dude that y'all can't even fuck up their relationship because he can't even be on the internet. Oh shoot, those guys are movers? I used to do moving like a motherfucker. I was thinking about trying to open up another moving company. If I had a truck, I would. Yeah, that was an ex-boyfriend from way back. Shout out to Zoo. Nicki Minaj so petty, she went and got that shit changed to her last name, fam. Yo, Nicki Minaj is so petty. She went and got that shit changed to her last name, fam. She said, "You rap bitches ain't gonna outdo me." I need some tissue now. Nobody else paid attention to that shit? Am I the only one that paid attention to that? Am I the only one that paid attention to that? Her last name is Petty now, fam. Am I the only one that paid attention to that? Nobody else? Nobody? I watch there's gonna be a lot of people that say, I paid attention to that. You ain't paying attention to that. Get out of here, fam. Stop lying. Kenneth Petty. They got a son too, right? They should make sure he make it to the NBA so he can have Petty right on the back of his fucking shirt. or some sport, it don't matter which one. People mad she didn't want to be part of the female rapper documentary on Netflix. I blame and don't blame her. All right, so I blame and don't blame her. So what I'm saying is, we don't even know how they was trying to portray her. That's one. Two, there is, remember when Live first was coming out and there was rappers, there was basketball players that wouldn't allow their name. Was it Live? I forgot if it was Live, it was 2K, some shit. But there was, it was happening a lot in Madden in the beginning, and it was happening a lot in 2K and Live in the beginning, I believe, that there was actual athletes that didn't want their name or likenesses put on the product for whatever the reason might be. So that might be what it is. It might be some legal reason why she doesn't want to get herself involved in this shit. That's one. Two, she is now currently married to a man that was accused and then convicted of a sex crime. She probably don't want them doing a fucking documentary type expose on her. And like you said, you have to sign to use your music. She probably didn't want to, they didn't want to pay. He said we just had 23. Toon says, you peep act said Megan Cunning wanted to interview with him about him knowing how he got the DNA result in the Tory case. No, I didn't hear about that. Put it in the chat. Yes, because there was some information that academics got that Megan team is trying to say that he got illegally, or he wasn't supposed to have obtained it, and they're saying that he acquired it from Tory's legal team. So they're trying to say basically that Tory's legal team had been doing a lot of shit to try to make Megan Thee Stallion look bad in the media, and by doing that, they was actually going against the judge's orders because they were, you were busy attacking the victim. Netflix cheap, I heard, so maybe they didn't want to pay. I'm assuming that that's what it is. Also, this is Nicki Minaj. Maybe she was like, yo, look, I gotta get more than all them other bitches. Also, random other thing. If anybody else does a documentary and happens to actually get her to be a part of it, that's going to make the other documentary more valid than this one. So Nicki Minaj not being a part of this actually kind of invalidates some of this documentary. Yeah, she asked for more. Fucking Nicki Minaj, man. She probably said, how much you paying everybody else? Okay, I got to get paid double. I got to get paid double of whatever the next lowest. We're not doing this. Like, come on, fam. Let's not act like we don't know what most likely happened. Exactly. And Nicki Minaj don't need the documentary. They needed her. They were supposed to pull up and give her everything she wanted. Let's just keep it a stack. She is literally the best female rapper that's still rapping and making music right now. Literally. She is the damn Missy Elliott of this era. She's the Lauryn Hill of this era, damn near. Of this era. She's the MC Light of this era. And in addition to that, how long has she reigned? She's been reigning for a dumb long time. Did she get her ass whooped by Remy Ma? Yes, she did. But she's also been reigning for a really long time. Missy Elliott also declined. Do y'all understand that I would have also declined? You're literally talking to the wrong guy about this. I don't think she did anything wrong. Because without certain people, they don't even have a documentary, really. You understand? And more importantly, what makes you think that they was like, I don't want to be a part of a documentary with so many people that you're added in there that I don't think that should even be in the documentary? You have these little young rappers that in the documentary that been out only here rapping for like a year. They don't even got no real shit going on with them. They didn't do anything. And I'm going to be in the documentary with them. I'm going to be bringing down the value of my brand. Boom. Let's keep shit like that in mind. For real, for real. You're bringing down the value of the value of your brand, homie. Tell me where the lie at. Imagine her getting in the fucking documentary that also got Sukiana, whatever her name is. I wouldn't want to be in the documentary that had that chick in the documentary also. What the hell are you talking about? I'm gonna be in the documentary with a girl that made a damn song, but she's talking about he gonna eat my ass or some stupid, or she gonna eat his ass or some stupid shit. I'm gonna be in the documentary with somebody that made a song like that. I don't want to be a part of that. So there's literally a ton of reasons that I could think of why she should have said no. The hell? If I'm Nicki Minaj, I don't want to be mentioned in the same breath as some of these people, to be honest with you. I'm Nicki Minaj. I don't want to be mentioned in the same breath as some of these people. Why the hell would I be in a documentary with them? You know what? When you make a documentary and it has, you talking about Lauryn Hill, you talking about Missy Elliott, you talking about Little Kim. When you make a documentary like that, call me up. But when you make a documentary and you're talking about all of these Instagram models that just happen to make a song, Sweetie ain't a rapper. She just is very talented and athletic. She's not a rapper. She should just try to transition over into making movies and television, by the way. That's what I think. But she's not a rapper, fam. She's not a rapper. Most of these chicks is just attractive women that go up into a studio, they write them some music, and then they come out with the music. And since they can't sing, they gotta rap. The hell? I'm just Nicki Minaj. I wouldn't want to be a part of that. The hell you calling me up for this for? Where's my agent at? He need to be fired. Wait, before we fire him, I want to slap him. And then after I get a good slap in there and he think that we gonna retain him, then we gonna fire his ass. Toon says, you seen Eric Adams speak on Kai Cenat's situation, saying other outside parties came in to initiate what happened. Do you remember yesterday when we was talking and I literally said that they probably sent out the tweet? Hold on. Do you remember yesterday when we was talking and I said initially the whole shit was going well? They had like 300-400 people there. He had tweeted something out or he put something on Instagram, then it went viral, and then once it went viral, a whole bunch of people that came down there. And remember I told y'all the day before that the police chief, 2 days before that, pardon me, that the police chief, I think it was 2 days, that the police chief guy has said basically one of the things that had happened was people were coming down there with firecrackers and like smoke grenades and all types of different shit. So you add that to this just being a fact. A lot of those people, Cots and that shot, Cots is from the Bronx. Now I want y'all to understand something. You know what borough you're gonna get robbed in, dumb quick if you go to any which one of the freaking shopping areas if you're not paying attention? The Bronx. I'm just telling you what it is. They got people that literally their job is on Fordham Road to watch and stake out and then contact the other motherfucker that's gonna catch you when you walk down the street. This is not cap. They've been doing this since I was a kid. Copy? So I'm assuming most of those people that ended up going down there, they only went down there for the bullshit. Also, did you see how they got all the pictures out of the teens? Do you see? Yeah, 149th, 3rd Avenue also. Do you see how they have the pictures out of the teens that was destroying property and now they want to go pull up on those kids? So they're going to get these people that was doing those things. That's the only thing that can save Casanet. If they going after the people who was individually doing whatever they was doing, that's the only thing that's going to save him. By the mayor coming out and saying, you know what, there was other parties involved in this, that's them already giving him an out. There's somebody with a lot of money that called New York City and they said, look, this shit got blown up, it went out of control, this is not what we was trying to do, don't worry about it, we got a check right here, we about to sign it and ship it out. Pellucidity, P-lucidity or Pellucidity? Which one is it? Netflix only pays $100,000 to $2 million for anyone in the documentary, but you don't get huge salaries once it's there for over a year. But you won't get huge salaries once it's there for over a year, but could be lower due to ad revenue, which is below 30K. Thank you, appreciate you, Pellucidity. I hope I'm saying that right. Am I saying that right? NYPD got a big ego. They don't like what happened, man. Sheesh. No, they don't like what happened. One of the members had 20K viewers last night. One of what members? Wait, what are you talking about? One of whose members? Kai? So one of Kai's members, not Kai himself, but one of his members had 20K? Shout out to that shit. Oh, he in a group called AMP. Okay, shout out to that shit. I keep seeing AMP. Man. So they're gonna get them kids. They had the kid that was on top of the car doing all of the dancing. They got that kid picture. They got everybody picture, fam. I saw like 6 kids. Not everybody's, obviously. I saw 6 kid pictures, fam, and they look like we on the lookout for them. Them kids is gonna pay, fam. And this is something that I think 100% has to be a thing. When kids go do damage, I do think that the parents should be held responsible. I think that there should be a choice. The parents either pay for it, and if the parents can't pay for it, then you got to do something with the kid. The kid has to, in some way, reimburse and pay these damn people back. Because I think that that's why parents aren't. First of all, we have to give parents the ability to parent their children back. That's one. 2, after we give parents the ability to parent back their children, that means that now we can give the parents consequences for their children's actions. As long as we have it that you can't even discipline your children now, you can't, shout out to the Democrats, as long as we have it that you can't even discipline your children now, I don't believe that you should be holding the parents responsible for their behavior until you make it so that at least the parent could discipline the damn child. They're not talking about 20K is regular for his member because they're talking about the guy's member, I believe. I guess it's 20K. I mean, I don't know. I don't watch that shit. What up to the few? What up, Jay? Mac? Dude, those teams are gonna get it. They're gonna hit those teams with. They're gonna hit those teams so hard to make sure people don't follow suit. They're gonna hit those teams in the head, fam. They're gonna hit them with all their bags. They're gonna make sure that other teams don't follow suit. The next time people decide to wild out, niggas ain't jumping on top of cars. That's what they're gonna make sure. They're gonna make sure the next time people decide to go wild out, they're not running inside of those businesses trying to terrorizing those people. How do you mean you think it's gonna go under the rug, Tunes? Explain. What up, produced by Tyler? No, I'm not getting sturdy, fam. Dude, like a rock star. I don't know social media stars is that big. Yeah. It's not much more media coverage on this. I think they're going to get him to pay. I don't even think it's time to give out. No, I don't think he gave out any of the PlayStations. So, no, there's been a ton of media coverage on this. Two, if what the mayor, if what you said the mayor said is actually what the mayor said, they're trying to figure a way out of this for him right now. Just so we can be clear, they're probably trying to figure a way out for him. If you're enjoying any aspect of the show, you can pull up to the Cash App, the Super Chat, and or the PayPal. Or you could also pull up to our shop. We got a shop over there, our BBN store, where you could go cop some BBN merch at. And you can also join the Green Team. We need a lot more people to join the Green Team. We're trying to build what we have going here and get more stuff going on. J Max says there wasn't even Kai that got 20K views. It was one of his. I know, Mac. The other dude is just being negative. Just fuck it. You understand what I'm saying? He thought I was saying one thing, so he just wanted to say the opposite. That's all. His self average is like a dude. We know, Mac. You understand? I don't watch the guy, but you say he got 40 million viewers, so 20K would be low for him. I'm alive. You understand what I'm saying? That would be low, obviously. That other guy, he just want to just say the opposite of whatever you hear me say. You understand what I'm saying? Keep attacking the motherfuckers, by the way. Every single time somebody come into the chat and they just say some stupid shit, and it's obvious they just trying to say the opposite of what I'm saying, keep attacking the motherfuckers. Because if I say anything to them, they going to play the victim and say that I'm hurting their feelings. I'm always hurting their feelings. And then they call me a pussy. And then I say something at all. And then I'm hurting their feelings. You understand? Get it? If I say anything, I'm hurting their feelings. Then they gonna go talk crazy about me and badmouth me and talk shit about me. But if I say anything, I'm the bad guy. I'm hurting their feelings. Some dude had the nerve to come into the chat and say, I saw you the other day. Why didn't you do anything? I saw you the other day. Why didn't you do anything? Dude, you're the one with the issue with me. Why would I do anything to you? Like, that don't even make sense. You the one with the issue. I'm over here trying to live my life. Why would I see you? Like, so niggas is weirdos, fam. I don't know a better way to say it. What you mean by subs, killer? They just always trying to create a situation where they could play the victim, fam. So it looks like I'm always complaining. Because that's just what it looked like. I'm always complaining. Because I got people that just literally always, everywhere that I go, that's trying to create a situation so they could play the victim. Sheesh. Literally dropped him off. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Literally dropped him off, caught on camera. Now he's on trial. Some people with kids have no living. What you mean literally dropped him off, caught on camera, now he's on trial? What you mean? I'm just gonna call you Lucidity. What do you mean, Lucidity? Please explain. Kai in a higher class right now, higher fucking. They gonna, the money is coming. If he could make that type of shit happen in the middle of the street, the money is coming. Bo Real says I first seen Kai video when he had went viral having Blueface and Kashawn on the show, and he throw a little person into. Oh, she threw a little. She's that's got problems. Keyboard problems really think you're thinking about them. No, they do. That's why they always talking about this is what I really mean or that is what I. I'm not thinking about them guys, man. I don't. I say what I mean. What I mean, I promise you. The thing I'm saying is what I mean. I promise you. The thing I'm saying. Yeah, he's from the Bronx. I just found that out also. What time is it? It's going on 11 o'clock. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. We can stay on this topic for a little while. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. I like the flow of the live this morning. I like all the comments. Salute. I appreciate y'all. These are the days that I be thinking about doing the live longest. Long lives and coming live a lot. On these days that y'all in the chat, y'all commenting. He drove his son to the convenience store. His son got out the truck. His dad drove him on and he shot 20 rounds, killing 3 teens and injured 1. I have no idea what you're talking about, baby girl. I'm assuming you're a chick, by the way. I have no idea what you're talking about. Literally, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm trying to go backwards through your comments. Did one of your comments not come through? Can you please go backwards through your comments? One of your comments might not have come through. I have no idea who you're talking about. He drove his son to the convenience store. Coincidentally, for a person that no one really cares about, you wrote, "You seen me last night. No one really cares about you. Why you in my chat?" Y'all really think that I be just crazy, right? Y'all really think I just be crazy? Y'all really think I just be crazy, right? That's really what y'all think. I just be crazy. I just be saying things that don't make no sense. Fam. Shout out to a dude, hope whatever he go win with whatever he's doing. Whatever he's doing. I know what he's gonna be doing, stalking me. But you know, whatever else, all the other things. I hope he go win. I like what Kai was doing. Yeah, God bless, man. God bless, man. I like what Kai was doing for his supporters, but he just had to plan it better. You need to have. Oh, I agree with the planning part, but once again, they initially had like 300 people there, and then all of a sudden they had 3,000 people there. So I don't know if they could have even planned for that. I think the plan was for about 300 to 500, 600 people. I think that was the plan. They didn't even have that many PlayStations, fam. It's not like they showed up with 100 PlayStations. I have no idea what she's talking about, Bo. I have no idea what she's talking about. I have zero idea. I've been asking her. I don't know if she's gonna answer me. She might be making comments and pressing the button to make the comments come through, but the comments ain't coming through. I heard a number of, they initially it was 300, 200, 300. Usher spoke on Keke Palmer's situation, that he a domestic terrorist. Uh, ish, ish. Oh, I agree. She said it happened a while ago. The father was found guilty of capital murder this February. Anyway, just saying, some parents don't know how to parent right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's an extreme case. But yeah, that would be definitely not parenting appropriate. They showed the van with the PS5s. Yeah, and it barely had any in it, fam. If you're talking about the one that had like the see-through, like all glasses, it had like the glass, and you could see the PlayStation stacked up like on the lower level, like it was like not that high. Toon says, let's rock with a topic. One, what do you mean by that? And two, what topic do you suggest? I'm just having a conversation with whatever y'all talking about at the moment. I don't know. Fuck out of here. Oh, that's a B. All right, I was gonna slap the shit out of you. It's a B though. B's is cool. Shit, I should try to play the Mega Millions. I should play one ticket. Who's trying to come at the Black Lives Matter movement? I don't rock with the Black Lives Matter movement. I rock with the idea and the concept. Everything the black why don't the Black Lives Matter movement ever have anything going on except for in an election year? Somebody explain this shit to me. The Black Lives Matter movement only have shit going on during an election year. Can somebody explain this shit to me? It's not an election year yet, fam. You gotta wait for there to be an election year. Then the Black Lives Matter movement is gonna be everywhere. They go another one of these bugs. Black Lives Matter. I'm for the preservation of black people. I'm for the preservation of all people, just so we can be clear. But I'm for the preservation of black people. I'm for black people. All the way. Even if y'all feel the way y'all feel about me, there's nothing I can do about that. But there's no way in the world that I agree that this organization that calls themselves Black Lives Matter, that seems to ship the majority of the money that they actually give to any programs actually out of the country, for everybody that don't know, they were funding like a transgender parade or some shit like that, strip club in South America. They were funding like a transgender strip club in South America, fam. I mean, I don't know. I'm not for them. You could be for whoever you want. I like that the concept and the idea of what they're supposed to be doing. I just don't like what they're actually doing. Yep, and homegirl. Remember, the dude that actually started Black Lives Matter died. He died. I believe he got killed or some shit. That's another thing I don't think people know. The guy that actually started Black Lives Matter, he's not here no more. He died. That's his sister or his cousin or some shit like that. That's running it. That's his sister or his cousin, something like that. That dude died, fam. I don't remember. Claudia Jordan called Eric Adams a thought. Eric Adams just do everything for the fucking Democratic Party, fam. The Democratic Party have Eric Adams isn't really a politician, fam. They've left him out to dry a ton of times, and people get mad at him. But in reality, it's his party fucking him over. Soul Brother number one said they killed him in the parking garage. Appreciate you. Salute. So yeah, so I'm not for Black Lives Matter at all. I'm for the idea and the concept. I'm with the people that go out there that actually want to create change. But the people that y'all donating y'all money to, they on some whole different shit. Dude, what the hell does helping transgenders in South America got to do with Black Lives Matter in America? Please explain this shit to me. What is sending money to Africa to help people experiment with giving children uh, gender change operations? What is that? First of all, experimenting on children about gender change operations. Think about that twice. So what the hell does that got to do with Black Lives Matter about in America? So that energy, that is what I'm saying. I'm not here for that. Just look into it. I mean, it's not hard to find out the things that they're accused of. At least. I want to know why we only hear about Black Lives Matter, why they only talk during election years. I don't really hear about Black Lives Matter when it's not an election year, do you? I'm not even trying to be funny, but do you hear about them when it's not an election year? I only hear about them when it's an election year, fam. If you're enjoying any aspect of the show, you can pull up to the Cash App, Super Chat, and or PayPal. Also, we could do y'all want to do saloon this morning? Anybody want to do the saloon? We could do the saloon this morning. We serving breakfast in the saloon. Dude, I don't think I'm saying anything incorrect. If I am, put it in the chat. Remember, I'm smart. So when people want to try to tell you not to believe me, they have to say that I'm a liar or I'm crazy. If I wasn't smart, they would be using other ways to try to convince you that there's something wrong with me. But since I'm smart, they got to call me a liar or crazy. They have to make me hate wanting being smart. Like they have to make me hate the fact that I'm smart. So I gotta suffer every time that I do something smart. You understand? My son ain't speak on what babies? Which babies you talking about? I don't believe my son could speak on. I believe there's only a certain things that my son could speak on unless people tell him he could talk about it. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just telling you what it is, man. I believe there's just certain things that he just can't talk about. Also, I don't think my son's as intelligent as y'all think he is. I think y'all equating a nigga that went to jail and read the damn dictionary to a person that's intelligent. Those are two different things. No, I haven't heard about my son speaking about the kids that wilded out at Union Square. I'm not saying he hasn't, but I haven't heard it. I heard him speaking about the boat incident. I haven't heard him talking about. He keeps. I'm not trying to be a dick, and I'm not coming after him, but he constantly talks about how he's a leader, and he constantly talks about integrity and this and that, all the stuff he talk about, right? But whenever it's time to have to criticize these kids for doing some shit that falls down a certain line, he don't never say nothing. The only thing he ever say when he talking about these kids is if these kids kill one another. If the kids don't commit an actual crime against another kid, or he act like the shit didn't happen. So maybe he's gonna speak on it. Maybe he giving it a couple of days. What the hell do I know? But I haven't heard him speak on it, and this isn't something that I expect to really hear him speak on it. But if he did speak on it, shout out to that. This is just not something I hear him talk about, man. It's like he want the little niggas to love him so much that he not ready to correct them. You understand? I'm telling you what I think it is. I don't think this is picking and choosing. I think he just want the little niggas to love him so much that he just can't correct them. That's it. Niggas is scared to correct niggas because niggas want niggas to love them so much. So they scared to correct them. People want people to love them so much that they will scared to correct them. And that's what I think it is. Period. I don't think this is picking and choosing. It might be. I'm just saying I have a difference of an opinion. And yes, he's always trying to be right on both sides, which is bananas. Lucidity says, do you think we would have been better off without laptops, cell phones, and etc. back to the day instead? No. Because just like laptops and all of this other shit has caused us issues here and there, think about all of the benefits to society that we've leaped forward to. Also, remember, this is always about getting to Armageddon. This is always about getting to the end of times. So we need to have different levels of technological advancement in order to be able to get to where God needs the world to be so he could come back. So, we want technological advancement. We want the things that's going to happen that's going to bring God back to the world. We want that to happen. You understand? So, no. Me of that. We want God to come back. It's going to be painful. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be, a lot of people going to be screwed over, the majority of us. You understand what I'm saying? The world is going to be a terrible place. There's going to be wars, all types of different shit going on, all types of absolute madness. But we need the Lord to come back. So we need for these technological advancements. For me, media influencers have more influence on youth than the youth parents do. Well, other people have always been having more influence over first of all, parents don't actually have more influence over the children. The problem is people don't know how to influence their children. Majority of individuals don't know how to influence their children. A majority of people have behavior that they do that they try to teach their kids to do the opposite of. I'm going to say that again. A majority of people have behavior that they do that they try to teach their children the opposite of. But the problem is children don't learn by you telling them. Children learn by observation. You understand? So I'm not disagreeing with you, Lucidity, just so we could be clear. I'm just saying I think that's a more complex concept than to just say it like that. I think there's more complexity to it, with all fairness. I just think there's a lot more complexity to it. Because also remember all of the things that we didn't know. Okay, so people, now we have situations where people get hit by cars all the time, right? Car accidents all the time. Nobody's saying, well, I wish cars never were made. Because there's so many benefits to cars that it don't make sense to say that. I'm saying that. I'm saying I think our society benefited way more than it's been hurt. And in addition to that, I think that we're supposed to be on a trajectory somewhere where these particular things actually help that happen. So Lucidity says, behavior modifications will help along with probably more listening and understanding of their kids along with the responsibility to talk. I think one of the main things is we have to figure out one of the things I think America needs to adopt is they need to adopt the 4-day work week. That's one. But we're not going to be able to do that because America allows for companies to not pay you a livable wage. So that's going to be its own issue. But we need to adopt the 4-day work week. We need to figure out a way for parents to actually be in their children's lives. I think a big problem just in general is both parents are always working. So in America, we need to change the way our economy is ran. We need to change the way basically this capitalistic society that we live in right now is doing more damage to us than it's benefiting, than we're benefiting, in my opinion. I think there's some people that they should never be able to be around their children. They're just bad people. But there are a lot of people who they do mean good for their child. And if they had the opportunity to be able to raise and teach their child and train their child, and for their child to be able to observe them, and while they're conducting themselves responsibly, I think that'd be beneficial. Remember, most children, they see their mothers and their fathers go out into the world arguing with this person, arguing with that person, cursing that person out, having a problem with this person. And another thing that's bad that people do is they'll go have a conversation with somebody and then walk off and let their child hear them bad-mouthing the person they just had the conversation with. They'll let their child hear them talking grimy about the person that they just was shaking hands with, hugging, and all this other shit. You understand what I'm saying? So pay attention to what you're teaching your child. What we doing? We 2 hours in. We 2 hours in. If you are enjoying any aspect of the show, you could always pull up to the Cash App, the Super Chat, and or the PayPal. Killer says the art of real conversations are lost form. Well, yeah, because when was the last time you had a conversation with somebody and you felt like they actually listened to you before they spoke? So we live in a society now where there's people that's waiting to come cross your path because there's things that they want to tell you. But since there's things that they want to tell you and they're waiting to tell you, often when you finally do get into conversations with these individuals, y'all don't have an actual conversation. They're just telling you the shit. They're just getting shit off their chest. You're just getting shit off of your chest. So it's just people walking around trying to run into people so they could get shit off their chest. Unless UFOs came. So just be mindful of that. You understand what I'm saying? There's people right now, they not, you see them, but they not really talking to you. They just getting shit off their chest. You understand what I'm saying? They feel this way about you. They needed to tell you this. They needed to tell you that. What the fuck? What else we talking about? Put it in the chat. We 2 hours into the show. We got 70-something people in here. We've been consistently with 70-something people all freaking show. I'll stay on live or I'm going to get off. I'm just letting y'all know. We might be coming back later. But I'm going to need some participation. I'm going to need some participation. I'm going to need some participation, fam. I do a good job over here. I need some reciprocation today. I usually do this every day and I don't really get no reciprocation. I need some reciprocation today, fam. I need some reciprocation today. I'm obviously not talking to everybody. I'm only talking to the people that care about this platform and would like to see this platform continue. I need some reciprocation today, fam. So you'd rather the kids be fighting people and nobody don't know? So you rather just have kids running around beating each other up and then nobody don't never know that it's happening, so nobody can't help the victim? I'm just asking. Because if you're gonna nitpick, I'm gonna respond back to your comments like that. I'm not trying to be a dick, but if you're gonna nitpick, then I'm gonna respond back to your comments like that. You're nitpicking. How about these technologies when it save people lives? So since kids is having a fight and filming fights, you know, we should never have the technology. But about all the times that that technology saved lives, found criminals, helped find people that was kidnapped. How about all of those times? We should just forget about that? See, this is why I'm saying when you nitpick, these are the conversations that you create. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I mean, if we're gonna nitpick, that's the conversation you create. What the hell? There's a ton of things that shouldn't be filmed. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't have an ability to film it. That don't make sense. So if you're gonna say it like that, so that means that we should not have no cameras. No cameras of any kind should ever exist. No filming of any kind, because anybody could use any type of apparatus that could be used to film something and film a fight. So we shouldn't have any films of any kind. You went to an extreme, so then I follow. Is that fair? I'm just saying. I'm not gonna say don't have a, we can't advance technology because children might use it wrong. So that means, you know what, we shouldn't make cars because a child might get in a car and then use a car wrong. We should definitely not have condoms because kids is gonna go get condoms and have sex. Right? We should definitely not have alcohol because children are gonna drink alcohol. All smoking apparatuses because kids could smoke. So when we start saying we shouldn't advance technology because a child might use it wrong, that's kind of like the lines we're going down. There's more serial killers in the world than any prison could hold. I don't know who said that. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know how are you deeming a serial killer to be. Is there any other comments in here? Because this is not conversation that is intriguing to me. So how do you determine who's like? Do you know what serial killing is? I don't know. But know what? I'm just gonna say whatever you're saying. I don't know. Maybe you're telling it. Maybe it's right. I don't know. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Because this is. I don't think kids should be smoking and drinking as children. Period. I don't care what country you in or whatever. I don't agree with that. I think that we got to start allowing for our kids to stay kids. I think our kids grow up too early, and since they got to grow up so early, that they don't have the chance of being a kid. And I think that that's a lot of the problems that we have. You got kids that they didn't get a chance to be a kid, so now they 13, 14 years old and they want to be an adult. So they talking to other adults like they adults. They talking to each other like they adults. They carrying on like they adults. They doing adult things, but they really just 13, 14 years old. See, that's what happens when kids spend too much time with their peers, though. That's what happens. When they spend too much time with their peers, they start considering everyone their peers. Once some kid disrespects me, some kid, whatever, I don't, I'm not trying to argue with him. So once a kid disrespect me, I just let them parents deal with them. I don't deal with them. I try not to talk to them. I'm just letting your parents deal with you. Because I'm a whole grown adult and I don't want to be out here arguing with no kid. Dude, I be at the park. I got these kids that follow me to the park. I'm not gonna say they follow me to the park. And some days they're at the park, some days they're not. And they're always trying to get into an argument with me to make it seem like I'm arguing with some kid. So I'll be at the park and I'm talking to you, and they'll just be responding back to me like I'm really talking to them, like I'm really trying to sub them. Like, nah, I'm not trying to sub you. If I was talking about you, I'd be saying those kids. I do it all the time. So I'm not subbing you. You understand? But what you have to understand is that when somebody, like, so they're just trying to create an argument. So I I keep trying to explain. I get it, but I keep trying to explain to you. I have a totally different life. I don't live in the real world. If I ever am invited back to the real world, to live in the real world with normal people, where normal shit happen, like that correspond with my actual things I'm doing, I'll love it. I hope that I'm invited back. But I don't currently live in the real world. I live in a totally different world where I just have a whole bunch of people around me that just hate me. They're trying to destroy my life. And people just watch and try to help in the system. That's the world I live in. So when I go to the park, fam, I don't talk to them. This is why I don't talk to those kids no more. I don't say nothing to them. I'm not trying to figure nothing out. I'm not mad at y'all. I'm not upset at y'all. I just don't think anything could come good from y'all. I think that me dealing with them can only be bad for me. So I don't want to deal with them. You understand? Only bad things can happen for me. Nothing good could come of this. So that's the type of energy that we have to. So, and we have to start going to the kids that want the tutelage. I'm gonna tell you something that's some of the realest shit that I heard, and I heard a teacher say this. And I was still in school when I heard this, so I learned this at a very young age. I heard a teacher complaining that they couldn't teach other students because they had a student in their class that needed too much time and attention. They can't teach the other students because that student right there is disrupting every lesson. And they can't speak to the parent because when they have the parent come in, if the parent does come in, the parent is giving excuses. There's no correction of the behavior. This is how schools handle your bad kids. They just go send them to the class with all the other bad kids and with the teacher that's ready to deal with them. This is what they do. So what we have to understand is a lot of these kids that we come into contact out here in the real world, they're in those classes, fam, if they're going to school. They're in those classes where they need, how you doing? Where they need all the extra attention because they have behavioral issues. You understand? They need all the extra attention because they have behavioral issues. Yeah, that used to happen to me all the time. I'm not gonna lie. When I was in elementary school, I'm gonna tell you something. So when I was in elementary school, I used to get in trouble all the time, basically for I wasn't civilized. I didn't grow up with people. I keep trying to tell people that, but they don't get it. So when I was in elementary school, I wasn't civilized. That's the best way I could put it. So when I would get in trouble, that is what they would do. They have you sit in the principal's office all day. Lucidity says, oh, you punched the classmate, it's okay, go to the next class, we'll deal with it later. I don't know if that's how they're dealing with this shit, but if they are dealing with it that way, that's not responsible. But once again, like, what you have to understand is a lot of these kids that's out here, you know, they not getting the attention they need at home. They go into school, the schools don't know how to handle them, they don't know how to deal with them. They busy think that they whole grown adults, they 13, 14, 15 years old. To them, they whole full-blown adults. Nobody can't tell them different. And then you got to go deal with them. So I just don't deal with them. And once I see that you got that type of energy, I say, look, shout out to you, but you're going to go be somebody else's problem, fam. Only time you got to be my problem is when I'm right here. When I'm not around you, then I don't have to have that problem. So you're gonna go be somebody else's problem. I'm gonna let somebody else go handle that. Yeah, it was my niece. Said her teachers just watch fights. They don't involve themselves. They can't involve themselves. That's how you get fired. The teachers have no protection, fam. Shout out to the Democrats. The Democrats has created this. The Democrats have created this whole situation. So shout out to the Democrats. The Democrats created all of this. This is all the Democrats doing. For everybody that don't get it, this is 100% the Democrats doing. The Democrats make it so that the Democrats have been wanting your kids for the longest. I'm just gonna say what it is, fam. It's all the Democrats doing. Think about it. Their main thing is making it so that parents can't even parent their own kids, man. And I'm not talking about the abusive rat bastards. I know how. I'm talking about people that just sincerely just want to parent their kid. You got to just let your kid go to jail nowadays. You can't even really parent your kid. I remember they had told me that if you get expelled 3 times from elementary school that I was in, if you get expelled 3 times, that they kick. If you get suspended 3 times, you get expelled and kicked all the way out the school. I got suspended like 4 times. Shit, I got suspended twice in 1 year. I think it was all for fighting. I'm not 100% sure. But they ain't dubbed me. They ain't kicked me out. They let me stay. But I think one of the main reasons why they let me stay is because, like, you had to see me coming to school. You know I had problems at home, man. You know I was being neglected. Like, it's not hard to tell. We all see them neglected kids, fam. It's not hard to tell. Yeah, elementary school kids get penalized worse than high school kids because they can still physically, you know what I'm saying? When you're a high school kid, them guys be scared of you. You might come try to show up. Heard about that high school kid that killed this teacher because the teacher gave him a failing grade and he couldn't go to Europe. So him and his friend, or he did it by himself, where he beat her with a bat and killed her, some shit like that. So yeah, they scared of these high school kids, man. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. I was gonna stay on a little bit longer, but I'm not gonna explain why we're gonna go. But I'm gonna let y'all go. Everybody enjoy your day. Go do something positive out there. Guess we'll try again later. Like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you, and that's all I got on this one. I'm out.